million deal. That's another guy that the Dodgers were at least reportedly interested in, along with Dansby Swanson and obviously Trey Turner. Apparently they're out on Carlos Correa. They're letting the world know they're not going to do that. But had the Dodgers gone and got Xander Bogaerts, I would have been very happy to add him to my squad.
Yep.
I think that is one of the worst deals I've seen in a very long time. That seems like an insane amount of money and a long period of time for a very, very good player, but at a position you didn't necessarily need on a team that isn't dying to find offense. That seemed like a very odd spot for him to land.
So I will tell you there's a couple ways to look at it, and I know my perspective is going to be different because I am a San Diego Padre fan. The fact that the Padres are in the mix with all these players is shocking to me.
Yeah.
It's just not the San Diego Padres. That's just not how it works.
Big dollars.
Okay, big dollars. You said this. Look, did I think they were actually in the Aaron Judge race? No, I didn't. But apparently they got a meeting with him, and that in itself is kind of impressive that Aaron Judge was giving him a meeting. Did I think that they were going to get Trey Turner? You know, to be honest with you, look, dollars-wise, money-wise, years-wise, it was all there, but he was going back to Philadelphia, or he was going to go back to the East Coast. And if you're going to stay on the West Coast, why wouldn't you just stay with the Dodgers if he was going to stay with one of the two teams? The Bogaerts thing, I think for me, a couple things pop up. I could tell you in the short term, I'm not going to pay attention just yet to the 11-year portion of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of years.
I'll say.
Because I would say the Dodgers would make a move like this for Bogaerts, but it would be 6 years, 150, 140. Be something like that, right? Like, they're still going to pay, but they're going to do it for shorter years. I mean, Freddie Freeman is the perfect example of a contract. How old is Freddie Freeman? Is he 30, 31?
33.
Oh, he's 33 years old.
Yeah.
But that's a good example of a contract. He signed a 6-year deal with the Dodgers. You're still taking him close to age 40, but it's a 6-year deal. It's very manageable.
He plays first base, too. He's not a middle infielder.
In the short term for the Padres is they got a pretty stacked team. Tatis is going to come back. You assume he's going to be pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. But
where's he going to play?
There's an assumption. I think this is what they're going to do. Bogaerts will play short. Ha-Seong Kim will play second. Cronenworth is going to go to first. Remember, they lost Jordan Bell. He's gone. Grisham probably stays in center, and you have Tatis in the outfield with Soto. That's kind of the idea in the house. Machado's going to be at third.
Okay.
They are. I'm not telling you because I cannot make an argument that it's a good long-term deal. You can't, right? You just
they never are.
They
never are.
You said something to me yesterday that I think is a good example of the Padres. Bogaerts is not coming to the pot. Maybe it's a little different because you actually got some stars right now, but he's not coming there unless you're overpaying him and giving him too many years.
No question.
Right? Like that's the only way he's leaving.
That's how they get those guys.
That's the only way he's leaving the Red
That
Sox.
hurt, by the way.
That sounded awful. In the short term.
Good, it's already swelling. I hit that.
Torn ACL.
A lot harder than I thought.
No, that shook the entire table.
Out for 4 to 6 segments.
I got a knot.
Don't tell him that.
On my kneecap.
Say that.
What did I do that 10 seconds ago? And there's already a piece of my kneecap that wasn't there. That's not good. Anyway, go ahead.
Just listen to the bump.
Ouch.
The whole thing shook. My computer went to. My computer woke up. Rebooted.
But you're right. They do have to overpay. They have to go above and beyond. Says I have to take that.
So I cannot tell you what 5 years from now what that deal is going to look like. But in the absolute short term, that's a stacked lineup that the Padres have. Mm-hmm. In the short term, it gives them an opportunity to hang with some of the big boys out there. And I only present that to you because the San Diego Padres count how many World Series that they have. They have 0. So there's something about a team going absolutely. I don't know where Peter Seidler's getting all his money, by the way. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, he's going to get it from you and your buddies.
Yeah, eventually. Eventually it's going to come to us. But for a franchise that has never won a World Series, for me, it's pretty cool to see a squad saying we are so all in. Could they fall flat on their face? They can.
Yep.
But I'd rather see that than you're not trying.
Here's who the Padres are. They're the Los Angeles Rams. They are F them picks. Sign every star there is to sign, cross your fingers that it hits, and then figure it out from there. The only part that you don't know is it going to hit? The Rams hit. Look, for all of the problems that they're having right now, They won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
There's a banner hanging at SoFi Stadium.
Yep.
There's a Lombardi trophy in the office. They won
and it
the
ain't
Super
going
Bowl.
anywhere.
And it's not going anywhere.
Yep.
They won the Super Bowl, okay? The Padres are basically attempting that philosophy on a baseball diamond. They traded away all of their picks to get Juan Soto. They spent all their money on Tatis and on Machado and on Bogarts and on Darvish and on all these other guys that they've gone. They gave Musgrove $100 million. They're spending money.
Yep.
We'll pay you, we'll pay you, we'll pay you, we'll pay you, and let's see what happens. If it doesn't happen, and relatively quickly, it's not like it has to happen in 2023, but if it doesn't happen in the next 2 or 3 years,
that's kind of the window you have.
I think you have a 2 or 3 year window. Now all of a sudden Machado's old and very expensive. The Tatis, we'll see. He's expensive and interesting. I don't know how great he is yet.
He has to prove a
for
lot
sure.
this upcoming year.
Soto feels like pretty good money in the bank. I haven't even paid him yet. They still need to go and pay him. But they remind me so much of the Rams. It's unbelievable. Only they haven't gotten the Super Bowl yet, or the World Series title. I am thrilled that the Dodgers don't do things like this. One of the things that Friedman's been talking about, and we talked about this yesterday, is sustainability. It's not the Dodgers spend money. Nobody can say, well, they're cheaping out. They won't spend the money. Well, of course they will. They're going to spend the money the way that they want to spend the money. High dollar, short term, usually. But if they do go big, they're going to get it. They're going to get the guy that they want. They want Mookie, they'll give him a 12-year deal. They want Freddie Freeman, they'll give him a 6-year deal. Whatever it is, they'll pay for the things that they want. But they're not doing that. The only way we can get this guy is to do something that may be incredibly damaging to our operation a handful of years from now. There's a chance that Xander Bogaerts gives you a couple of good years, and it's like, wait, we owe him what?
Yeah.
For how long?
Yeah.
And he's completely unmovable, and you just it's one of those things. The Tatis part of this, and we can pick this up on the other side. The Tatis part of this, to me, is really interesting. They clearly have decided that Tatis is not the centerpiece of their team moving forward. By getting Juan Soto, by paying Bogarts, by the way that they dealt with Tatis's ringworm. Is that what he had? He had ringworm.
Yeah.
The way that they did that clearly means that they're willing to maybe not have him be the future of this franchise. They're surrounding him with a lot of other guys, which I think presents an interesting opportunity for some other teams. I think you could probably pry him out of there if you wanted to. Whether you want to or not is a different question, but they're all in, but it better hit in the next 2 or 3 years, or you're going to be paying a very expensive credit card bill and you didn't buy anything good.
Can I tell you something that's kind of fun? When you present it like that, you're not wrong on it. I don't think there's a Padre fan out there that is concerned with any of that, because what history do you have to say to yourself, well, if you're not doing it this way, or
100%,
you know what I'm saying? It's just like
100%.
it's worth that risk, and the fact that ownership's actually doing it. What could be interesting is you had a Dodger team that's absolutely dominated the division, and really just dominated the absolute division for the first time. And it's not to say that the Giants haven't had their moments, because they certainly have. But there's some real players for the Padres, too. That's going to make for a fun little matchup there. As
a Rams fan, the Super Bowl that they won keeps you pretty happy for a decent amount. The Rams are having a catastrophe of a season, and it's all right. We just won the It's okay.
I'm with you on that.
I understand what they did. It worked.
Can I tell you something?
This is the penalty. This is the price.
I think it's actually even more extreme on the San Diego side, on the Padres side. If they won a World Series out of this, I don't think anybody's going to care for the next 10-plus years. Do you think the Nationals care where they are today? Would they like to be better? They would, but they got their World Series.
All right, listen up all week long. We're giving away passes to sweet passes, not just any passes, sweet passes to the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. The game is happening on Saturday, December 17th at SoFi Stadium. And if you call in right now, caller number 10, 877-710-ESPN. Let me give it to you again. 877-710-3776. You'll win 4 sweet passes to see the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stiefel. Tickets are on sale right now, starting as low as $35. Visit labowlgame.com for more information. Hey, did you see? Coming up next, it's Travis Lee, 710.
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Our Long Drive-a-thon event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and support the Folds of Honor, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
On my read.
Hey, did you see?
Did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this?
Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
Taylor, did you see that the Sacramento Kings are 3 games over 500 as we're getting ready to head towards a new year? Did you see that?
Taylor, did you also see that
They
the
lost
Bucks
last. Yeah, they lost
served
last
it to
night.
them yesterday?
Over 500?
Yeah,
Middle of December?
Lakers don't lose
like
in
the
Milwaukee.
It's a huge win for the Kings. Happy for you, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you, Trav. Means a lot.
Good.
Did you see that 65% of Americans believe that they are smarter than average, with men more likely to agree with this than women? So, Sliwa, who is the smartest person that you know?
I had a buddy of mine in high school. Ended up going to Stanford. Ended up being a doctor. Still is a doctor. And it's kind of funny. He was... How do I put it? Like, he was so great personality, popular, didn't maybe fit the perfect profile of, oh, that kid, all he does is study. This dude worked. That's all he did. So my buddy Dusty, that's the smartest person that I know. And like I said, still to this day, this dude's doing surgeries left and right. And it's like, yeah, that's a pretty smart guy.
So for me, it's, and I'm not just saying it because we all know him, it's Dr. Clapper. And it's there's really not a close second that I can think of. He's the head of orthopedic surgery at a very prestigious hospital in a giant city. He is the most well-rounded human being that I've ever spoken to in my life. You can talk to him about surfing and art and music and sports and medicine and science and technology.
Go to his office and just see all the different stuff that he does.
He's an extraordinarily interesting, intelligent guy. So for me, and funny, all of those things, it's Doc Clapper.
Thought you were going to say Trav, Slee. Come on.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot about baseball cards and cooking.
Mile wide and an inch deep.
That's right.
Next up, guys, did you see that 500 million tweets are shared every day? That adds up to around 200 billion tweets every year.
Ooh, my
Trav,
gosh.
what was your best tweet of 2022?
Okay, I don't know if this is not in 2022.
You can do all time, yeah.
I'm going to go all time because it showed up on like an ESPN like college football package at one point. And this is, I wasn't working at ESPN. I think I was working at Yahoo at the time. And it was, you guys probably won't remember. Todd Graham was the head coach at Arizona State. Okay, head football coach at Arizona State. And he had this ridiculous looking flat top haircut that looked like something out of the 1940s, only it was 2015. Cliff Kingsbury was the head coach at Texas Tech at the time, and he's got this unbelievable flow, right? He looks like Ryan Gosling. He looks great, right? And my tweet was something like, Todd Graham's haircut hates Cliff Kingsbury's haircut. And they did the Jimmy Kimmel thing where they made other coaches read me tweets about themselves, and Todd Graham had to read that tweet.
Oh, that's amazing.
On TV. And
How long ago was that?
Legendary.
10 years ago. And he reads it, and he goes, Todd Graham's haircut hates Cliff Kingsbury's haircut. I don't even know what that means. He was so bothered by it. I still feel very, very good about that whole thing.
All right, a couple stick out here. It was
Your Chargers tweets, any of those are gold.
Yeah, when just going after Dean is always nice. I think when I randomly went after Quinn Snyder, that was a good one. Just basically decided that Quinn Snyder is not a good head coach, even though he's had success in the NBA. Take that one. Really like the look. It was kind of liberating. Going to a Dodger game in Padre gear and throwing out a tweet and saying, guys, I'm here, and it's the playoffs, and the Padres are probably going to lose, but it feels good to be here.
Right?
It's the only one they lost. Only one they lost. I did, if I could circle it the other way, they only won one game against the Phillies. I was at the only game that they won. Now, they still lost to the Phillies. They lost 4.
It took a minute for the disease to take hold.
And then it thrived in Philadelphia. How about you, Em?
So this is I don't have the data on my like most liked or whatever, whichever one played the best, but I think my favorite one that I've done this year is that Timothée Chalamet could single-handedly bring it back the fedora for all men because he's in a movie and he looks really hot in a fedora. So that was my favorite tweet of this year.
If I gave you a lineup with 2 people in it, could you pick out Timothée Chalamet?
No. Now, if I saw him then and you said that's, oh, okay, there's a connection there.
He's a scrawny white boy, but really hot.
One more, guys. Okay, did you see that a survey for the most hated vegetable in the U.S. put turnips on top of the list? So beets, radishes, and Brussels sprouts are also high on this list of most hated. What specific food did you used to hate as a child but now have grown to love? Sleep.
Vegetables I actually have. Let me give kind of I got a couple here. I used to hate, it's random, green peppers I used to hate. Just peppers in general, I used to hate them. Now I like them. Now I like spice too. So like jalapeno, I'd never want to touch a jalapeno. Now I want it in my food. It's more stuff that have kind of a kick to it or a spice. Did not like spices growing up, and now I like having a lot of that in my meals.
You mentioned one that I thought I'd see them like, oh my mom used to like them. Like, those are the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
Beets?
And, yeah.
I could do beets. I like beets.
Used to be like, I can't believe anybody would ever eat that thing. And now I really
Throw it in a
they're pretty
salad.
good. They're great in a slice them thin.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Great way to do it. Little vinegar on there. I'm just saying, little sweet and sour going at the same time. It's not a bad way to do it. You can cube them too, put them in a salad. That's not a bad way. I got beet thoughts, deep beet thoughts along the way. Apparently, people are still guessing Emily's. Why do I keep forgetting the word? What is it? It bothers you?
Uncomfortable.
Makes Emily uncomfortable on her way home. We'll take some guesses. Plus, Tatis available? I'm thinking maybe. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. And listen to this. This is unbelievable. The holiday season is here, obviously, and our friends at Meat District have come up with an ultimate holiday giveaway for those of you that are football fans, which I'm assuming means just about each and every one of you. Meat District is a proud partner of the LA Rams, and they want you to grill like a champ this holiday season. And to help you get game day ready, they are giving away a chance to win the ultimate tailgate sweepstakes. Listen to what this prize is. It's absolutely unbelievable. Here's where you're going to want to go. GrillingLikeAChamp.com. Let me give it to you again. GrillingLikeAChamp.com for your chance to score thousands of dollars in prizes, including a Meat District butcher crafted burgers, which I've had and are fantastic, a brand new Rover cooler, think of that unbelievable cooler only with wheels, a Loco grill, soundbox speaker, an Epson HD projector, that thing is incredible, and that's not it. You can also score an LA Rams VIP Christmas game day experience, which includes 2 tickets, VIP tailgate, field passes, and 2 custom Rams jerseys with your names on them. That is the best prize I've heard in quite some time. What are you waiting for? The contest ends pretty soon, so get in on it. It ends December 18th. Hurry on over to GrillingLikeAChamp.com. That's GrillingLikeAChamp.com and enter today. Good luck.
The biggest show on the radio.
And he's always there?
It's not always. I just don't even know like when they're there. I don't know anybody
Never
who
know,
actually
bro. You gotta keep them on
gives
their
them
toes.
tips. And like, okay, so yesterday I was at the front of the line at the stoplight, and I was just like, dang it, he's here again. It's just like,
Is he trying to get money?
They're trying to get money, and I'm
Okay.
just trying so hard to avoid eye contact because I always feel guilty if I don't give money to people or whatever because I don't have cash
Emily,
on
can
me.
I help you out with something real
Just
quick?
don't do it.
Don't feel guilty about not paying the juggler. You know, like if you see some poor guy that's down on his luck, then
Right,
you want to
right.
help him. But if the guy's just out there juggling pins, you can skip him.
But like also my issue is like these are hard pins. Like what if they juggle it and they fall on my car and like break my windshield? Like I just want to avoid
Fist
these
fight.
people. It's really difficult for me, and I really feel uncomfortable.
Gotta find a different way home.
I could go a different way
Gotta go
home
around.
If only there were other streets.
I'm trying to.
in Los Angeles. What the heck?
Yeah,
No,
I feel
but
like
it's
there's
multiple places.
I've seen your home, and there's at least 4 different approaches you could take.
Right, but this one's
Can
the
you
fastest
take?
way.
I mean, if you take a different way, is it a big delay or you'll be fine?
More. There's more stoplights that way. But the thing is, it's like I get on the freeway a little bit and then come off and get a stoplight. But then, and this guy's backed up. They walk through. They time it, I guess, perfectly. We're like they're not holding up the line. But it's just like, how much money are you making as a juggler here?
I'd put the windows down, play some kind of music, get them also entertained, kind of clap with them, do whatever you got to do.
100%. That whole
You got to
deal.
lean into it.
Get the when she said circus things, I wanted it to be like juggling is a perfect
elephant.
description. But I was thinking like shooting people out of a cannon or putting your head in a lion's mouth.
They do
like
that.
the
at
really classic.
No, they do that at intersection. That's right. You jump through a ring of fire.
Amanda wants you to know that you sleep for the win because she was texting me her guesses and she guessed.
That's good. That's a
All
really
right, we'll
good
take
guess.
it. Juggler.
Yeah. Okay. So
By the way, I wish when I'm driving to Pasadena and I get off the 110, I don't see any juggling. That sounds like the most entertaining thing ever.
took the words out of my mouth.
Especially for someone like you, it's just complete silence. Now you can actually
distracting.
watch
got
something.
Got a floor show. I got a guy doing tricks. He should light the bowling pins on fire. Like let's
And then
up the
set
ante
my
a
car
little
on
bit.
fire because it's right by a gas station. Why don't we just set the whole gas station on
I
fire?
feel like he knows
too?
what he's. Is he good?
They don't drop it. So
No, then he's pretty good. Then there's nothing to worry about.
Can't find the tweet, but somebody had said that it was the afternoon show. It was a billboard of the afternoon show with all the Mandy Awards, including Radio Tinder. Pretty
that
good.
actually would make me upset. A
Yeah,
little bit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Just lean in, Emily. Maybe go out there and join them one day. Go, you know, like what's the jump rope thing where you get in the middle and they spin it
Double
around?
Dutch? You know I'm a good double Dutcher.
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
That's it. You should get in the middle between the pins. And you can do that thing where they throw them next to your head. That would be kind of fun
Like on The
to
Office.
see. Yeah.
Also, someone found the coaches reading tweets that your tweet is featured on, Travis.
Oh, did they find it?
Yeah, they did.
Did they send it in the community?
It's in the Travis and Sliwa Show community, so you can find it there, guys. It's from
oh, there it
Kobe
is.
Forever.
There it is. All right. Yeah, we can. I'll retweet it and you can enjoy it. It's great. Todd Graham's face is like, who's this guy? It's terrific. I like making fun of people's haircuts because I've got a terrible haircut.
Yours
of my
is
own.
getting back.
Not really.
No, it's getting back. I saw you took your headphones off
Christmas.
earlier. We had
Shooting
a
for
conversation during one of the breaks, and while you were talking, I didn't hear anything. I just looked at your head, and the hair is coming back.
So Dodgers have done next to nothing.
Yeah.
Right. They Shelby Miller. You know. I think I saw something. Jason Hayward signed a minor league deal earlier today. Okay. Fine. No heavy hitters. No star power. So
And
far.
they've lost players.
Yeah.
Key players.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they've lost, obviously, Trey Turner at the top of the list. Cody Bellinger, for better and far more worse, is a star, right? He's a former MVP in the not super distant past that when you see his name, you're like, oh, I know who that is, right? Justin Turner may or may not come back. I think he probably will. But no Verlander, no DeGrom, no Judge, no Turner, no – who else am I forgetting along? No Bogarts.
Yep.
All these guys have decided to go somewhere else. Is it just that they don't make bad deals? They're not going long-term unless it's the terms that they want to go to. Or is it, hey, listen, let's get under the tax
Yeah.
and let's go move everything we need to move to get Shohei Ohtani? That Shohei Ohtani is the prize. The prize isn't available yet, but when it is available, we want to be the ones that have the most flexibility, the most optionality, the most prospects, the most major league ready players, the most everything. So when the Angels finally come to their senses and say, okay, we got to trade this guy before we get nothing for him, that the Dodgers are like, hey, we're here. Here's what you need. Let's go.
All right, couple things on that. I think you said something yesterday that's important. I think you said that, look, the Dodgers deserve the benefit of the doubt. They've built something over 10 years where no one can really question their strategy. No one can question their willingness to win, willingness to go spend money. I think you're right on all that. I don't argue with that for a second. But I also want to point out this is a team that has expectations to win every single year. Mm-hmm. That's what they've built on a year in, year out basis. If they come back with this squad this upcoming year, and you could tell me you're as big of a Dodger fan as it comes, I don't know how there isn't a little disappointment that you didn't improve the roster from last season. I don't know how there isn't a little disappointment that it's not like you just came back with the same squad. Trey Turner's there and Bellinger's there, and you're saying, guys, we have enough. We won 111 games. Let's just give it another run here. We had some bad luck along the way, or maybe we just played bad 3 or 4 games against the Padres. They lost some key players along the way. And there's another team within the division that's also in the process of getting better.
Sure.
Philadelphia Phillies just picked up Trey Turner. Mm-hmm. The Mets went out and got Verlander. Use that as an example. I know they lost DeGrom. Their teams are not just kind of sitting back waiting to see what the Dodgers do. Other teams were active. You can say let's give them the benefit of the doubt, but I think it's clear right now, and I don't know, you mentioned yesterday or last week we were talking about Correa, and now it's looking less likely that they go after Correa. The team's not going to be as good as it was a year ago, and they're going to depend on younger players. They're going to depend on guys to come up who are going to get more opportunities. They're going to depend on guys that were injured for the most part last year to come back and have significant presence. So what I don't want to see the Dodgers do is, I don't want to say you're throwing away this upcoming year, because you're not. You have enough talent to hang with anybody, but if you are proposing what they're saying about Shohei Ohtani going after the superstar of all superstars, there's risk in that as well. It's not like that's a lock or a guarantee that he's going to come to the Dodgers. If they are doing it, it's also a little bit different of approach than they've approached these last couple years compared.
I think there's a couple of things in there, Slee, that I don't agree with at all, specifically the idea that they're throwing away a season. I want to come back and kind of peel back on some of this stuff, because there's a part of this that I'm actually very, very excited about. That's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Just to get it exactly right, I mentioned that the Dodgers signed Jason Hayward to a deal. They did. It is a minor league deal with an invitation to Major League camp. So Jason Hayward will have a good chance to make the Dodger roster. There's some openings in the outfield for sure. Obviously, Cody Bellinger is gone. Trace Thompson likely to be back, I would think. But they got to figure out who's going to play center field. I think that right now, shortstop in a less than perfect environment is Gavin Lux's spot, but center field right now is probably there's Chris Taylor, there's Trace Thompson, there are some other guys that maybe you could try out. You put Mookie in there theoretically, but they got to find somebody to go play center field. I don't know if they have a clear, obvious candidate to who gets that job.
It's a weird offseason so far because the Dodgers have never really seemed like the questions that you just presented right now. It's a little that's not Dodger-like. Still time in the offseason. I'm not saying that they're not going to answer some of those questions, but if I'd have told you that, hey, this is what's going to happen in the Dodgers offseason, and it's played out the way that it has, I think that'd be a surprise. The Dodgers just have not done that in the past.
They haven't. So I want to go back to some of the things that you mentioned. And I know that you qualified it like this, but I think it's an unrealistic qualification that if this is the team they play with, what do you think? It's not going to be the team that they play with. They're going to make more. I don't think that they're done. I don't know if they're going to make a huge splash along the way, but I think that they will add players between now and the start of the season, and they will obviously tinker with it throughout the course of the season, as will everybody else. But I don't think this is going to be the final group of guys. What have I been saying about this team since they flamed out in the postseason against the Padres? What's the thing that I've said more than anything, which is, can we just find a way to maybe do this differently, to change the energy, to find something that isn't just, hey, that's baseball, just run it back again. Change the dynamic, change the energy. That's what this could be. This could be, hey, listen, Bellinger's been here a long time. We didn't get it done the way that we needed it to do.
That was the right move, by the way.
For sure.
I agree.
Trey Turner wanted to go somewhere else, and instead of just plugging someone, let's bring a little bit of a new energy in here, whether it's Outman, whether it's Bush, whether it's Vargas, whether it's any of these, Diego Cartaya, all of these guys that they have that are high-level prospects. Maybe it's starting to sprinkle some of these in, get a little more energy, get a little hungrier, get a little more
younger too.
Younger, and I don't. This is typically a bad word, but a little more volatile, a little bit more. I don't know exactly what I'm going to get along the way. That's part of it. And the other part is, you said, well, they didn't improve their roster. I don't think you can improve on what they did last year. You can stay the same, because how are you going to improve a team that won 111 games?
That's probably the better way to put it.
Yeah,
they didn't stay the same.
They didn't stay the same, and I think that's an important way to look at it, because I didn't want him to stay the same. And don't get me wrong, I wanted Trey Turner to stay. I don't really care that Cody Bellinger left. Whether it's Tyler Anderson or Andrew Heaney or any of these guys, I would have rather kept them than not. But I don't think it's a fatal blow.
They could replace them.
I deeply, in my soul, believe that they're going to be able to find guys that are similar to that or close to it. I think Shelby Miller's a good example of that. I expect him to be somewhere in the neighborhood of those two guys. And I like that they're doing it differently. I do not, had they just run it back again with the same group of guys and said, hey, maybe this time it'll be different, why? Why would this time be different? When you're doing, you got the same manager, you got the same veterans, you got the same stars, maybe a little bit of a different vibe, a younger vibe, a more energetic vibe, a more volatile vibe will be something that produces a different result. Are they as good on a piece of paper as they were last year? No. That's one of the best teams the National League's ever seen, and they got knocked out in the first round. I'm not saying that you blow the whole thing up, but I am saying just doing it again, maybe this is the answer. I trust these guys. I trust Andrew Friedman to put a roster together. It's the one thing that I have blind faith in. He knows how to put together the right roster, and if he thinks this is the way to do it, I'm here for it.
So this will be the difference this year compared to the last couple years. And again, we are in December, so we're not at spring training. So I don't know what the Dodgers are going to do between now and then. But a lot of the big names, they're off the board. Not all of them, but a lot of them are off the board.
Who's left? Swanson is
Correa
left.
is, but
Correa seems like that's not going to. The lefty from San Francisco, Rodon, Carlos Rodon is another one that would be a big addition.
So I look at it this way. I look at it as you've been trained watching Dodger baseball that money isn't an issue, talent isn't an issue. They develop their own talent in the process. They make a guy. I still feel like, maybe when the dust settles, the Tyler Anderson, you're going to find a Tyler Anderson, but I just think he was so good for the Dodgers last year. I feel like it's so loosely put out there that he was 15-5, that he had under a 3 RA, that he had a really nice start in the one start that he had.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you do understand that literally everywhere else he's pitched, he's been bad.
I get it.
Literally every other place.
I get it, but if Tyler Anderson is still on your team, there's probably a chance that he will go 15-5 again, that he will have under 3 ERA again.
Can do that with another guy. I really, truly do.
I'm not going to argue it. I feel like the Tyler Anderson thing was very loosely like, oh, it's fine. And maybe that's just somebody accustomed to another franchise where you're like, yeah, you don't find 15-5 guys. At least you don't develop 15-5 guys the way that the Dodgers have.
They kind of have.
Yeah, they have, and we'll leave it at that. But I think if you're anyone else in Major League Baseball right now, I think for the first time in a while you're watching the Dodgers and you're saying, okay, well, they might not come in when the season starts as the absolute favorite. Trav, I'm not telling you that the Dodgers are going to go win 80 games next year. Well, I'm just saying they've created this. They're going to win over 100 games every single year. That's what they've created. And the fact that they're going through an offseason where they actually lost people rather than add people is different. That's all. I mean, and I get what you're saying too. What you're saying is we've ran through this thing how many different times, and the result is still the same 9 times out of 10. And the one time that it wasn't different, it was a 60-game season, and it was completely different. I understand from that perspective. I'm just saying that if you're a baseball fan and you're looking at the Dodgers, you're going to walk in, if this is for the most part the pieces that they have, like, wait a minute, they didn't add to what they had. They actually lost what they had, and that never happens to the Dodgers.
You know what's funny? And the way that you're laying it out, sure, I think that a lot of people will look at it like that. Hey, they're asleep at the switch. Now's the time to kind of jump in back into the race, right? Let's go sign Bogarts. Let's go sign Turner. Let's go do all of these things to try to close the gap from where they were. Maybe they came back a little bit. We come up a little bit, and we're right there with them.
Yeah.
And maybe it's my homerism. I
don't think it is. I think you've done a good job of taking that off.
But what if I were the Padres, if I were the Giants, if I were the Braves, the Philly, I'd be going, what the hell are they getting ready to do? That because they don't sit it out. That's not they do not sit it out. And nothing's really changed. They still have all the money. They still have the same people in place. They still are in the middle of having really dynamic star players in the middle of their prime, like Freeman and Betts. They're not just going to go, they've got a plan. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but if I were a Padre, Giant, Braves fan, I'd be going, what the hell are those guys going to do? Because they've been quiet way too long. Yeah. Way too long. And you look around and you say, well, what's the best thing that's coming next? It's that dude down the street that hits 50 home runs and is the best pitcher in baseball, and that would look really good in a Dodger uniform, that knows the area, that they can guarantee to him, you've said you want to win. We can virtually guarantee you an environment where you're going to win.
What has to happen?
That's what I'd be thinking.
Well, and, you've the Ohtani piece of it all. What has to happen? Because I don't think the Angels – I think the last thing the Angels want to do is trade Shohei Ohtani to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
It's the second last thing they want to do. The last thing they want to do
is
want
him walking away.
Watch him walk out the door
away
for
nothing.
The second last thing they want to do is trade him to the Dodgers.
The second last thing they want to do.
If you're the Angels, okay, there's 29 other teams you can trade him to. If I come into you with the best package by a mile, you're going to say no because you don't want to watch him walk. You're going to make your own team worse, so you don't want to help me?
Here's what's kind of funny. I actually think that the Angels would consider whatever they can. They will go up to 4 other different teams that are in the Ohtani sweepstakes and tell them, just put a little bit more into this.
But here's their problem. Their problem. They can, but the Dodgers have a better offer. And Ohtani could say, look,
it's a different story.
You can trade me to the Mariners, but I'm not staying.
So that's a different story.
They're not going to make that deal. The Mariners, in this case, would not make that deal unless they know they get to keep him.
Of course.
I'm not emptying my bank account for
You're re-signing, right?
months.
Like we're doing this right now.
And if Ohtani goes, it doesn't really interest me all that much.
But you know what, markets, I will tell you this, and I'm just imagining from the business perspective, from the superstar, you got to imagine a Red Sox, a Yankees, a Cubbies, that there are going to be other teams kind of thinking like you are, whatever the hell it takes.
Yes.
You're going to have some of that.
But their bankroll, and I'm not just talking Dodgers, their sales pitch, the Dodgers sales pitch is better than everybody else's, maybe with the exception of the Astros. That's the only sales pitch that might be a little better. That they're set up to win a bunch of games in a row. And I hate saying this out loud. They're really good. They're really well run. They've got a ballpark that would suit him very, very well. It's a good fit for him there.
If Dodgers are making a sales pitch, you're listening. That's simple.
It's a better one.
That's simple.
It's because I can pay you as much as anybody else, more. The things that you need
selling
from
out
me,
the place every single
prospects,
day. You're going to be in the playoffs. You're going to this. You're going to that.
Prospects than the Mariners or the Phillies or the Braves. The Dodgers have the #1 rated farm system. I have better things than you. If you want to sell it for something worse, I can't stop you from doing it. But why would you make yourself worse when there's a better offer over here? And by the way, I think that whoever buys the team next will have a listen. We got to get our house in order. I can't worry about competing. We got to figure this out now. He's leaving. There are 30 teams in Major League Baseball. The only team I'm certain that Shohei Ohtani will not be on in 2024 is the Angels. The other 29, I'll give you a 1% chance or better.
It's interesting.
That's the one spot. And that they're so quiet right now, that the Dodgers have been so disciplined and measured and thoughtful.
Have you ever had this?
I would be like, what the
Have you
hell
ever
are
had
those
this
guys
where
gonna
like
do?
where you're at a bar and you have a friend that, hey, just make this guy, sometimes he drinks a little bit too much and things go a little haywire and he's just sitting at the bar and he's really calm, cool, and collective, and now you're feeling more uncomfortable. That's kind of what you're talking about with the Dodgers. You're like, oh geez, something's gonna happen here. He goes back in for another drink, we're all screwed. That's kind of the Dodgers right now.
You get in trouble at school or something when you're a kid, and you know that your dad's going to find out, and you're waiting for him to react, and he hasn't. You're like, this is going to be bad.
Oh no, he's doing hard liquor.
Anticipation.
He's doing hard liquor.
You're waiting for what's coming next, right? I'm waiting.
Why
for
did he
what's
order
coming next.
Jägermeister? No.
Factor Cap coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN.
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Our Long Drive-a-thon event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and support the Folds of Honor, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Yes, I just don't like getting solo attention from strangers. I just don't enjoy that experience. And then I also worry about, what if the bowling pin lands on my car and shatters my windshield? Like, what if they try to let it on fire? It's right next to the gas station. Everything goes crazy. Like, these are things.
These are professionals, Emily. They're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, they're professional street jugglers.
I think you're kind of taking some credit away from their skill set.
I trust them. I've never seen them drop it.
Right.
That's fine. But I've also never seen them make money. So I've never seen anybody actually give them any money because they walk up and down the aisle.
Well, their hands are full.
Well, no, they go jug, and then they put in the two hands, and then they go up and down the aisle, after the juggling's done, asking for money from people, going up to the windows and asking for money. And that's just...
So I can speak for myself. I've lived in L.A. for 30 years. I have never seen a street juggler. Ever. How long have you lived here, Em?
Like a year and a half.
And you've already seen street jugglers.
Many.
That's unbelievable.
It's like at a subway station. Have you guys have never lived in New York City, right?
Yeah, I lived in New York.
Okay, you lived in New York?
Yeah.
So it's like getting people on your subway car that are
playing
trying to get...
an instrument or all that kind of stuff,
and they have a skill, maybe. They may actually do something pretty well.
Yeah.
But then you're just like, but I didn't budget this today. I didn't budget to have...
The juggler budget.
But you don't have to feel obligated to give anything. I will say... I kind of respect the creativity. Like, instead of, listen, and it is what it is, but we obviously have a homelessness issue.
Guy with a hat.
And somebody that's waiting at a stoplight, and maybe they just have a sign, if you can help, great, something, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
They're actually doing something.
Yes.
To see if that could garners a little bit more attention. It's a little bit different. I don't mind seeing if I got a juggler when I'm going home. I'm kind of okay with that.
Bergman, how long have you lived? You've lived in LA
my
your
entire
whole
life. I was born in
Have
Los
you
Angeles.
ever seen a juggler?
Not one time ever.
Ever.
Period. I actually want to know where this guy is because I want to go see him.
You want to take that route home?
I do. I will take it home today.
Will you pay him? Okay, so...
No, but I want to see it.
It's right off the Normandy exit from the freeway.
Okay.
So it's so
off the 101. I'm in.
We're all headed there.
I'm going. I want to see the.
By the way, this will be the highest gross day for them because we're promoting that they are performing.
They're going to kill it.
Let's do a remote.
I really hope he's there because everybody's going.
It
there
made
now.
me think of Red Panda, because Red Panda.
Oh,
does everybody know who Red Panda
I
is?
met her and I tossed her bowls.
You tossed Red Panda
So
bowls?
I was a promotional assistant for UVA Athletics, and so one time, Red Panda goes through all the different arenas, and so one time she came to UVA. And I was chosen as the promotional assistant to be one of the people throwing her bowls. And it was a really big task because you got to throw it right,
Red Panda is the greatest halftime show in history. It's this lady on a really, really, really tall unicycle, if you haven't seen her. And she puts bowls on her feet, and then she kicks them up into the air, and they land on her head.
Yep.
And sometimes the bowls there's like 20 bowls on her head that she somehow...
balance going back and forth. Believe it or not, I think Sports Illustrated had a story on her
a couple
years back.
Yeah.
ESPN has like a feature on her.
So when you were giving the bowls, were these like special bowls? Did they have anything different about the bowls that made it
sticky.
easier?
Were they
like,
sticky?
Yeah, they'd stick them on the bowls?
They were pretty lightweight. No, but there's nothing sticky about them.
Were they like porcelain bowls? Were they
were porcelain.
plastic?
They were
Berg, I like that you were suspicious right out the gate. Like that.
Oh yeah, no, something's going on
tar,
here. Okay,
rosin.
Red Panda's not real.
They could definitely break. But
It's
they
a
were
fugazi.
They were light. They were lightweight for
Fugazi
sure.
Panda.
And they were easy to throw and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Red Panda's best halftime show. Best halftime show.
All right, so Normandy off the 101. There's the juggling act
Say hello
that
to the
Emily is
jugglers.
afraid of.
I mean, honestly, Sliwa, if you want to come with me, we can go to Normandy together.
Okay, do you guys like the? I actually ran into this a couple days ago. Might have been over the weekend. The signs, right? Somebody with a sign, and they're trying
Spinning
to
the
get attention,
sign.
spinning, doing whatever they're
Yeah.
doing. So there's this girl doing it. I was where was I? I was down, I think Encinitas area. I was going down to San Diego, and this girl is doing it, and I don't even know what she was promoting, but she had the biggest smile on her face.
Yeah.
She had headphones on, and she was dancing, and I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever. Look at her.
Nice.
She's literally spinning a sign.
Yeah.
She's completely happy with it. She's having a good time. I don't mind that. Like,
It's
I kind of like when they're dancing, doing whatever they're doing.
Sure.
Then you got the one that's like, I'm not doing anything.
Just going to stand there.
I'm going to hold the sign,
like
and I
a
will
lump.
give zero.
Terrible look on my face.
Zero
I can't
energy to
believe
it.
my life has devolved into holding a sign.
Okay, so I mentioned this to Trav and Taylor and Emily. Did I tell you that I got my car's getting work done?
No,
Did I mention this
well,
to
I
you at all?
heard you got into a wreck, right?
Okay, here's what happened. This was a while back.
Did you call Jacob?
I did not know because I have nobody to call against.
Oh, so this was just on your own.
I'm driving down. I'm like in Irvine area. I'm on the 5.
Okay.
There's a motor home to my right.
Got it.
One of the big motorhomes. And then a smaller car to its right. To my left is a carpool lane. So just out of nowhere, these two cars kind of start swerving towards me. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, my vision is blocked here. I'm
Right.
just minding my own business, paying my taxes on time. You
Sure,
know? Just
exactly.
A normal citizen here.
Yeah.
And then I just see, I have no chance to react. There's a tire just coming straight from my car.
No.
Tire rolling. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going. So I don't know whose car it came off of, whatever the case is. But this is a day after Thanksgiving. So tire hits the right side of my car.
Damn.
Goes off and goes wherever it goes. I drive directly to an auto body shop. Again, the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Directly to an auto body shop. I still went a good hour and a half, and my car was probably not prepared for an hour and a half, but we were going to go down. I get nobody's calling me. I get nothing. I'm getting
So
no
the body
updates.
shop doesn't call you?
I called the body shop finally yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like,
Wait a minute, this goes all the way back to Thanksgiving, and you haven't talked to the body shop?
I'm paying for a rental car on a daily basis. Granted, State Farm's paying for some of it, but
Sure.
I'm paying for the rest of it. Body shop's not giving me any idea. I finally called them yesterday. I'm like, guys, what's going on with the car? And it was just a coincidence. We just got all the pieces in. We just got all the pieces in.
That's a long time.
And it's still not coming for, they said at the earliest, the end of next week.
So that's like 3 weeks.
If not the following week. We're talking about a month.
Damn.
What's going on here, man?
Damn, that's rough, man.
What's going on here with
That
these?
is rough.
I didn't know the
Now,
auto
you gotta
body
be more
shops-
demanding, man. I would be on that phone every day, say, what's the story on my car?
So we had somebody tweet us that said, you have to call the body shop and say, hey, guys, enough's enough. I'm picking up my car tomorrow.
There you go. I like that guy.
Problem is it's in San Diego. Like, I'm not going to actually go down there to pick up the car tomorrow or
Right,
the next
right.
day or anything like that.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you've been carless. Well, you got a rental.
Got a rental car. Just working with a rental car, but not exactly the best situation. I don't know if how you guys are with the rental cars. I'm not supposed to clean the rental car, right? It's just I pay no attention. I give no love to the rental car.
Throw all your trash in the back.
Exactly. It's a
Coffee
rental.
stains everywhere.
Yeah.
I know I've spilt coffee in the
Don't-
car.
Destroy it.
No scratches on the outside, right?
Wait, do you have the insurance?
I had.
The insurance is a scam.
It is a scam.
No, I said I don't want the insurance. I'm getting it through my insurance. Correct?
Oh, okay, right.
Okay, so that makes a difference because if you get their insurance, you can do whatever you want to the car.
Yeah.
You
but
can
that
run it
is-
off the road if you want.
That is a scam. Every time you go rent a car, they're like, "Do you want insurance?" I'm like, "Well, that's what I pay my insurance
Yeah, right,
for."
right.
But for them, it's just on top of whatever it is.
So years and years ago, my very first trip to Europe, I must have been, I don't know, maybe 21 years old, 22 years old, something like that. And I landed in London, and I said, okay, I'm just going to rent a car.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very nervous about driving on the other side of the road. So I took all of the insurance,
Okay.
right? Everything that they offered, I'm like, I'm in a foreign country, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road,
You
all that
basically
stuff.
bought half of the car
Correct.
for this insurance. Yeah.
And within 3 hours, I totaled it.
Oh,
Snapped the axle on that car when I hit a gigantic curb, totaled that car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, and walked away. Didn't have to pay
So
a thing.
insurance covered
Insurance
every
covered the whole
single
thing.
thing.
It's like the one time I did it, I totaled the car. I snapped the axle driving into what they would call a petrol station, a gas station, and there was this great big curb, and I was lost because you're driving on that side instead of this side. Totaled.
I used to buy it all the time. I don't buy it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't buy the insurance. Do you buy the insurance? The
No.
extra insurance?
Absolutely not. But have you been to Costa Rica, Slee?
I have not been.
You have, obviously.
Yes, I
Because
have.
So did you rent a car when
No.
you were there? Okay, so we rented a car when we were in Costa Rica this last year, and they make you get insurance.
Oh, actually.
There
You
is
have no choice?
They have no
I think
choice
Mexico
over it.
was the same thing.
Right, it's because you have to have their insurance because of the country laws and all those things. And if something happens to the car, they won't come pick it up and they won't do anything.
In
because you
another
don't have their
country, I'm
insurance.
okay with buying
Yeah,
their
in another
insurance.
country,
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I think I want every safeguard I can possibly get.
But they're putting everything on that car. Don't even get the car. Find other ways around.
yeah, I just took got a Jeep to take us to the.
How weird
you've been to
was
the place
driving
we've
on the other side? I've never driven on the
Oh,
other side.
it's freaky. It is. I mean, honestly, and not only are you on the other side of the road, you're also on the other side of the car. It is so friggin'
that
confusing.
would take a second.
Causes accidents.
What's that?
I said it causes accidents.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
So
all right, let's do this. I know we want to get into. Trav and I were talking.
Yeah,
I want to get you.
I want to do factor
opinion.
cap, or I want to do like,
hey, did you see?
Hey, did you see? Is there more? Hey, did
Taylor,
you see?
Taylor, if you got
stuff?
a couple, I mean, if he's got some, he
got
can
a
do
little
it.
extra. Hey, did you see?
12:30. 12:30. See if you can come up with some of that stuff. But I want to get you guys' thoughts.
I also have a question about green bubbles in a little bit. Go ahead.
Oh boy, you're still on that.
No, but it's with you now.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Trav and I were talking a little bit about the Dodgers are doing this offseason. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it because it is different than what the Dodgers have done in the past. Usually their name is everywhere. They're bringing guys in. Trav he has a theory of what he thinks they're doing.
Yes.
Big picture for the Dodgers. We can do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show. Mace filling in for T-Raj. Dealing with
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Our Long Drive-a-thon event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and support the Folds of Honor, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
I guess we're back. Travis and Sliwa Show. Trav is on his way to go do the pregame show. Mason in here filling in. Berg in the house as well. Emily is on the way as well.
Can I make a quick observation?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
So, do you notice this show, Bergman, you'll notice, is much more low-key
very low key.
Very low key compared
to ours.
This is like smooth jazz, man. This is like Kenny G. What we do is we're like shot out of a cannon and acting like crazy people for 3 hours.
So if this is smooth jazz, we're out of a cannon. What is Sedano and Cap?
Sedano and Cap is I'll say this is reggae.
Okay.
That fits Slee.
That's
yep.
great.
That fits Slee.
I'll say our show is...
Are you guys like a rock band?
We're like an alt-rock.
Classic rock.
Damn, classic rock.
I mean, we kind of are. John's favorite... I mean, you're talking about like 60s
No, you know what we are?
constantly.
We're Jack FM.
Okay, Jack FM. I'll
Right.
take. Yeah, they play what they want.
And those guys are 98.7.
Experimental, maybe?
Oh yeah, they're a little bit more on the
98.7. That whole thing.
More hip, more.
Do you
like
listen to
upbeat?
a lot of the music stations in town? Not a
No,
lot.
I don't.
I'm gonna guess you don't.
No, I here's the funny thing. I don't because I don't know. Everything's just been you just stream whatever platform you use. You get all your music.
He's
there
got Pandora.
Oh right, you got Pandora. I forgot.
Paying $4.99 a
You're
month.
the last man with
I'm paying
Pandora.
$4.99 a month here.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
get
hear
my
you.
money's worth. What's your green bubble situation over there?
So you are a weird person who decided that I'm just going to go get an iPhone Pixel or
I'll
not
get
an
a Pixel.
I'll get a Pixel. Why?
I think
I don't know.
I think I
won't
saw
respond.
one NBA commercial and it was iPhone Pixel. I'm like, all right, that works.
There are a lot of
there's-
commercials
I'm
for
or
the
like a
Pixel.
Google Pixel, whatever it is. But I still every time I ask you why did you get it, you don't give me an answer.
Yeah,
you
because
just say I don't know.
Well, I think you're looking for this like well thought out. It was like a 3-year plan
Yes.
that I had, and it wasn't that. It was just let's try something different. I've had the iPhone. You mentioned the BlackBerry,
Yeah.
which by the way
Blackberries
is OG.
were awesome.
That is
They were
an
the
OG
best.
phone.
Yeah. You could type so easy in a BlackBerry.
it was a
Whole
full
thing. And you said
QWERTY
the
keyboard.
scrolling, right? The ball or whatever. in the
the
middle.
scroll ball on the
scroll
side.
ball,
It's
yeah.
great.
That was
So
awesome.
that was the last phone. Ever since then, everything's been an iPhone. And it's not like I have anything against an iPhone. Just try something different. And if I don't like it, all right. A couple years goes by and you get back to the iPhone.
There's a lot of things that I like to change. It's never my phone. I've never been like, you know what? I think it's
I don't
time
like
to
any
change
change.
my phone.
I don't like any change at all.
Which I'm not much of a like big change type of person. But sometimes
No, you
you kind of
seem
throw
like-
a little curveball in there.
I don't like change. Ireland hates change.
Oh, yeah.
Ireland wants everything to be the same. And I think he lives his life in a very ordered way, right?
Very
He's
much in the 90s.
very, very much. Now, for me, I don't like things to change. Like I don't change brands of things that I use. Like I went and got a thing of deodorant today. It's the same deodorant I've probably used for 25
Okay.
years. Same tooth.
don't ever change your
Same
deodorant.
toothpaste
What is
for
it, Mitchum?
25 years. Aquafresh. I mean, I use the exact same stuff all the time. So I don't like to
Grocery
change stuff
store,
up.
you're going to the same place?
Same grocery store, same pharmacy, all that stuff.
Same foods,
Same
same
foods, everything.
So
Everything.
well, I will say this. You said you don't if you do change, it's not going to be a phone. This is not a small change. Like there's a lot that I'm realizing over this, and I'm okay with it. It's all good. But there's a lot that goes into changing your phone to a complete. I mean, it is for how often we use our phones.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, that button's not the same. Oh, so I do got to call Disney and get a new email.
Yeah, all that
on
stuff
there.
that goes along
I
with
did
it.
not. I did this on purpose. Did not take all my old contacts and put it into the new phone.
Why?
I have. So, how long have you had an iPhone?
Since 2008 or whenever they started them. I had them right at the beginning.
So every time you're just importing, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're importing.
It just automatically migrates to the new phone.
Okay. I have so many, and a lot of it was on the sales side and the business side. We used to put everything into our, you have your contacts, this. I have so many contacts that have nothing to do with me at all anymore. I'm now just saying, all right, the actual people that I do communicate with on a daily basis, I'll just take those on my phone. And all the other ones, if I need it, I got my old cell phone. I just put the number in. I store it.
We went through the who's the most famous person in your phone conversation last week. And the weirdest thing, because this is, again, I've been importing contacts, was years ago I interviewed Michael Caine, the actor Michael Caine, probably the biggest name in my. But what am I ever going to do with Michael Caine's phone number? Like, would you pop him?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael. Mike,
Happy
what's up?
Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
It's so weird. I was looking through the B's in my phone today for whatever reason. I don't remember exactly what it was for, and I typed in and I found Bill Burr. For some reason,
Bill Burr.
I have Bill Burr
Great
in here.
comic.
I have
That's
no
a big
idea
one.
why I have Bill Burr. I have no idea when I would ever have put his number in my phone. But apparently, Bill Burr's number is in here. I don't know why.
It's so random.
That's
it's
a big
so
one.
random.
But it's a great one. I actually love that
So
one.
what's the green bubble thing?
So the green bubble thing is you, Mace.
What is it?
Obviously, you have one now, Sliwa, which is a very strange thing. But you're on a green bubble now. I don't know why you are. In our group text from Steve, Momo, and Jorge, you're green bubbled. You have somehow.
First of all,
Mace, what happened?
I'm very embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
You
to
should
be a green bubble.
You are. You've made us into green bubbles. I don't know why.
My phone is acting weird. It's like I tried to use the order ahead at Starbucks, and it said you're not on the right network or something. I don't know what's going on.
When you text me separately, it's coming from your email.
Oh, yeah, it's a mess. That's it. I'm done with this phone.
Let me tell you something.
Go get a Pixel.
I got a guy.
I'm switching.
I got a guy.
Switching. Yeah.
And the guy is Google.
Yes.
And it's
Google,
not one person.
Yes.
I actually didn't notice. I didn't know they have their own service, too. So it's their own service. It's not Verizon. It's not AT&T.
I didn't know that.
It's Google.
Yeah.
So,
that's weird. I also have a question. This might be a stupid question, but is Google Pixel, do they use the cloud, or is that just an iPhone thing?
Everybody uses the cloud.
Everybody uses. So that's not just an Apple
Amazon
thing.
uses the cloud. Android uses it's just one big cloud.
Okay,
I don't know where
the cloud
I have no
exists.
idea how it works, but I know it's up there.
Okay, so if I went to a Pixel, I could just take everything off my cloud and put it into there.
And put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Are you
know.
considering?
No, absolutely not.
You've not
never
tempted
changed my
him
life
whatsoever.
No, that's my deal breaker, man.
All right, what'd you guys take of the Padres deal for Bogarts? It's 11 years, $280 million. I know I could speak from my perspective. Trav and I already talked about it.
Yeah, I heard you guys kind of mixed it. I thought
there was a little
edginess
there was a little
there.
tension there.
Yeah.
There was a little tension there.
Trav was like, "You're wrong about these three things," and it's
right,
like,
and he just kept listing them down. He just kept listing them down. But what's your guys' thoughts? I know the Dodgers. I think it's more of a surprise if you saw the Dodgers do some type of deal like that. Be like, yeah, that goes against a lot of what they've done in the past. That goes against their theory and their philosophy of we'll pay more for shorter years. We'll try to get the best.
Correct.
We'll pay you, but we don't want to have 7, 8, 10 years on your contract. Mookie an exception, but Mookie at an age where it's worth that exception. Yeah. What'd you take of the Bogarts deal?
I think it's too long and too much. I mean, I'm looking at their deals. Bogarts is 11 years, 280. Tatis is 14 years, 340. Machado is 10 years, 300. If you just take those three contracts, it's $1 billion. They've got $1 billion locked up in those three guys, and they haven't signed Juan Soto yet.
Yep.
And I think that number is going to start with a 5. So it's one thing to win the press conference, which is there's all hail, and I'm sure Padre fans are thrilled by this. And if you look at their potential lineup, Tatis in left, Soto in right, Machado at third, Bogarts at four at shortstop. I mean, that's Tatis, Soto, Machado, Bogarts is an unbelievable top 4 in the lineup. At the same time, I think what Travis was saying was right. The reason you have a farm system is either to use those pieces to bring in new talent via trade, or to actually give them a chance to play. Because one of the things you said is that this is not very Dodgery. The reality is, if you look around the Dodgers roster, a lot of this talent, they've come through the farm system. So I think that the Dodgers, that Andrew Friedman, et cetera, have got to be really, really solid on guys like Miguel Vargas and Michael Busch and James Outman. I think those guys are going to play a real role. And I don't know if Travis's point is wrong. Maybe it is a good time to mix it up. Maybe it is a good time to bring some fire and some fight to the dugout. I think he used the word volatile. It's not just show up to work every day. It's just another baseball game. I thought that was a point that's right on. Now, does this make Dodger fans feel good? Probably not. I mean, I think you'd like to have one big splashy signing. I don't know that that's going to be there this year. And I do think that in 10 years, I mean, 11 years is a long time.
No,
14 years is a very long time.
It's a crazy. It's a for him to be 30 years old.
Yep.
And you're giving him 11 years. Now, I'm
not 41-year-old Xander Bogarts is going to be patrolling shortstop for the Padres.
No opt out, no trade clause, the whole deal.
I don't think anybody, even if you're a Padre fan, I don't think anybody's saying, well, that's a good deal.
Right.
I think there's the excitement of saying, what could the next couple years look like for the Padres?
Right.
He gave an example I thought was interesting that the Rams said F them picks. Right?
Correct, yes.
Rams said F them picks. And they cashed out, and they got a Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
And if they didn't get that Super Bowl, it's a much different conversation, but they got the Super Bowl.
Right.
They won a Super Bowl. If they don't win, and I'm not telling you that this is going to happen, I'm not telling you this is a strategy. They don't win a Super Bowl or get back to a Super Bowl for 10 years. Mace, you can still say they won a Super Bowl. Not many teams can say that.
Yes.
And I think that's what the Padres are trying to do in this short window. Now, I don't know if an 11-year Bogarts contract justifies that.
Who's Fernando Tatis in 14 years, in a decade and almost a decade and a half?
But I think the Tatis thing, I'd be more okay with that because he's so young.
He's very young, yes.
That at least you feel like, okay, there's a tremendous amount of upside. Contracts are getting so much more that his contract probably won't look that bad in 5 or 6 years or whatever the case is. The Bogarts deal is top money for somebody who's 30 years old.
I almost wonder if they're doing all this because they don't have a good feeling about re-signing Juan Soto.
It's not even just Juan Soto. Do you know
Machado's got an opt-out next year.
Opt out next year.
Yeah, he does.
So you could possibly lose Machado next year, and then Soto the year after.
Or
you got to think
could.
Machado's going to
you're
opt out, and he's going to want more money.
No, he will 100% opt out. And like you just said, he's going to get crazy, crazy money.
Oh, yeah.
But can I go back to one thing here?
Sure.
Just the mere fact that there is a conversation, and not, I think for the Dodgers and Dodger fans, it's very easy to have these conversations. It's the best run franchise in baseball.
Sure. Yes, it is.
It really is. They give themselves an opportunity every single year to win. It is really odd to see the San Diego Padres doing what they're doing.
Peter Seidler must have a lot of dough, man. He's over there in Beverly Hills, and he's shelling out cash like crazy. I mean, they were in on Judge, they made a huge offer.
Yep, Trey Turner.
They made a huge offer. I mean, they got money burning a hole in their pocket right now.
I don't know where the money's coming from, but that's
he's like a hedge fund. I mean, he's one of the richest owners in Major League Baseball, so that's where it's coming from.
Okay, go to break here real quick. I want to get your guys' thoughts on Shohei.
Okay.
There's a theory out there that maybe the Dodgers are saving money for an opportunity at Ohtani. Do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa Show. Mace filling in for T-Raj, 710
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Our Long Drive-a-thon event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and support the Folds of Honor, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Lakers and the Raptors.
That's one I want to relive.
So good.
Oh, I want to watch that game.
I mean, in that third quarter. You know what I'm talking about, right,
Yeah,
Berg?
we were right in there.
It was fantastic.
We were only down
This was a
22 after
great
the
one.
third.
This guy just put his head up, no idea. He said, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're talking. We're talking about the Laker game and how they were down so deep in the
Such a
fourth quarter.
such a good game.
Yeah, did you enjoy it? How was
It was
post-game?
fun. It was fun. Post game, boy, they were depressed on. How was your post game?
Might have been one of
Sad?
the best post games I've ever done. It was just there was so much energy there. You know what I mean?
Do you think it
A
will
lot of
match
calls.
tonight's Rams post game? Because I'll tell you, the bet of the week is bet the Raiders on the money line. I don't know what the spread is anymore.
I think it's 7. We just did our picks.
But it is
7 now?
It is essentially a preseason game for the
Is
Rams.
it 7? Is that what was that what it was when we did our picks?
Yeah, it was.
I think 7. Yeah.
That's 7. I think the Raiders are going to win that game going away.
I would love for that to be the case.
Yeah, I mean the
They'd be
Rams
6
aren't.
and 7,
The Rams aren't
right
playing
there in the
anybody.
mix.
I mean, I say throw Baker Mayfield out there just for the fun of it. Just make it interesting.
He's got to play, right? I mean, what's
Well,
the
I don't know.
difference
John
between
Wolford is questionable.
What's the difference between him and Bryce Perkins? Or
No, the
questionable
problem is
John
he's
Wolford?
been here for 48 hours.
What does it matter?
That's
It's gonna be a dumbed down offense.
No, but that's the problem. The problem
Like,
is that
literally-
Wolford knows the offense.
And he literally got here.
I mean, does he know the offense?
Wolford? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they were in it with Seattle. That was one of their best games last year. Of the year was last week against
It really
Seattle
was,
with Wolford.
which is kind of crazy to say. They lost at
But
home
they
to
looked-
the Seahawks.
they
and it was
looked credible.
Arguably their best loss of the season.
Yeah,
or
it was
best game of the season.
That was the best loss in a while.
All right, what's your guys' theory on this, Berg? I
love
know.
that saying. Go ahead.
I know you told me about this. We were getting some coffee, and you're throwing in the whole Ohtani theory. What's the theory here behind if the Dodgers are look right out the gate? Like, just be realistic with this. And maybe I'm putting too much stock in Tyler Anderson. Fair. They lost Tyler Anderson. Trey Turner is a Philadelphia Philly.
Andrew Heaney, Tommy Kahnle,
Cody Bellinger.
There's
some players that are no longer on this team, and I'm not saying do the exact same. That there is a good case to be made. Mix it up a little bit. Now, the mix it up a little bit earlier in the week was go get Correa. That was the mix it up. But I'm talking about how they don't. Let's just say this is what it's looking like. They can make some changes here and there. What's your theory that you were trying to explain about Ohtani?
That basically the Dodgers are going to get under the luxury tax. They're not going to sign anybody all that big.
They're $70 million under right now,
and they don't have to go. No reason to have the luxury go over the luxury tax for a third or fourth year. I don't know, Mace, if you know.
Yeah, no. There's a repeater tax that gets more and more difficult.
It's 60% if you do it 3 years or more.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty massive number. So they're trying. It sounds like they're trying to get underneath it, especially with not signing Bogarts, and then they're going to save it all and just be like, okay, a dangerous Dodgers team under the luxury tax, having the ability to go way over it next year and going after Ohtani and saying, here, you get the world.
I'm trying to be optimistic, but I feel like the Padres might be the favorites to win the division this year.
Well, this year, yeah, I would.
Would you agree?
I would probably agree with that. Yeah, but like we have to remember still that this
which is
team,
kind of, and I think this is why I point this out. That's not a normal Dodger offseason. That's all. I'm not saying that they're not stacked. I'm not saying that they don't have a lot of players. I'm just saying that when's the last time you saw an offseason for the Dodgers where somebody else was actually making the splash, where, obviously they got Freddie Freeman and then the trade for Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. It's always the Dodgers making the splash.
Sure.
Last trade deadline, it's the Padres. Go get Juan Soto. And then this year they go make another acquisition. To even have them be the favorite to go win the division, that's different for the Dodgers. I'm not saying good, bad, or anything. That's just not normal.
Yeah, I'd be curious what Vegas says. Does Vegas say the Padres
I can look it
will
up.
be favored to win the division? I mean, the Dodgers. Look, Andrew Friedman is the smartest guy in baseball, and they have put together a great organization, top to bottom, from scouting to analytics, all of that stuff.
Everything. Prospects,
everything. Farm system, always best farm system in baseball.
Taking players from somewhere else and making them good, and then they go sign a contract somewhere else
with the Angels,
and
they're
they're back.
signed for 3 years, and the Angels are going to already regret it at the end of this year.
So as of November 6th, so that was 2 days ago before the whole Bogarts thing, the Dodgers were plus 500 and the Padres were plus 1,400. The Dodgers are the betting favorite as of 2 days ago.
So I don't know.
Is that after Trey? When did Trey sign? Yeah, Trey signed earlier.
Trey signed, yeah. He signed with Philly.
Right. This is only Bogarts, really. So if Bogarts, you really think it's going to push him up that much further? That they'd be over the Dodgers?
I mean, I look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, damn,
it's really good.
That is a really good 1, 2, 3, 4. We had a great 1, 2, 3 last year with Turner and Freeman and Betts, but this is an unbelievable
Cronenworth
1,
as
2,
well.
3, 4.
There's some other names as well that don't get as much pub. Do you believe what he's saying about the go all in? Look, there's superstars in sports, and then there's Shohei Ohtani. Like there's another level that Ohtani's in.
Yes.
And listen, if you said that the Dodgers were preparing for, they don't have control of who's going to take over the Angels. They don't have control of what that pitch is going to look like from a new owner that comes in and says, Ohtani, trust me.
And by the way, Manfred said he thinks that deal's going to be done by the
opening day,
yeah, for the Angels.
They don't have control over that stuff.
No.
But what the Dodgers do have is what you just said. Go look around Major League Baseball. If you want to win, there's only a few franchises that you're saying they win every single year. I'm not saying they win World Series every year, but they're in the mix every single year. If you're looking for as much money as you could possibly make, you think the Dodgers would shortchange a Shohei Ohtani? That's not going to happen.
It's not going to be possible because the Mets are going to be in it, the Yankees are going to be in it,
Red
the
Sox
Red
probably.
Sox are going to be in it. I mean, everybody's going to be in that thing. They've got to be prepared to go past $500 million for Shohei Ohtani.
Do you think this is what this is in the back of their mind that, hey, let's not get into these, reset the tax like you just mentioned. Let's not try to put ourselves in a position where we're hand-tied. I don't think the Dodgers are going to give Bogarts an 11-year deal. That's not going to happen. That's something that the Padres would.
Yeah, would never do it.
I think this sets up for a potential, they're thinking about Ohtani and what that possibility can be.
Yeah, I mean, sources, multiple reporters, all that kind of stuff say they're targeting Ohtani. And he is, as you said, one of one. And he is going to be a $500 million plus player. So I think that's where the Dodgers are focused. I almost wonder, the Angels could make an unbelievable deal with the Dodgers for Ohtani. I don't think they would ever trade Ohtani to the Dodgers.
That's what I told Trav. Trav said, if it's the best deal out there by far, he thinks that you got to just take care of your organization. I get what he's saying. I'm with you. Can you imagine the Angels
trading the single most fascinating, exciting player in the game to the Dodgers, where they're going to have to hear about him? He's going to be in the same market day after day, season after season.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. I don't see
why not, though. I mean, look, it's not going to be Artie Moreno anymore, so he would never do it. Artie Moreno would never, ever, ever trade with the Dodgers. But if some other big name guy comes in, and Joe Lacob, whoever it happens to be, that becomes the Angels owner, maybe he does it. He's like, I want to fix this franchise. We're going to move Ohtani. He's not going to resign here most likely anyway, so might as well just get as much as I possibly can. And if the best deal is with the Dodgers,
don't you think they would take a little less than the best deal to make sure that he went somewhere else?
Yes,
I do. I think so too.
I mean,
I really do believe
it's petty
that.
And
it is
it's
petty.
weird and it's short-sighted and it's all that stuff.
But where we sit here today, the only time we talk about the Angels is when something negative is happening, because there's not really much positive to talk about.
Well, no, you know what it is? We talk about him when Ohtani does something great. We would never talk about him again if they got rid of Ohtani.
Imagine the face of that franchise. Trout, but even,
Trout's for whatever reason, I mean, he's had some injury issues, and he's, I don't know how old he is, but does it feel like he's peaked or is?
I mean, he had
past the top
he
of
had
the
a
mountain?
stretch last year where he had like 8 home runs in 8 games or something along those lines.
And you know what's funny? We didn't bring it up until it was 7 games. It was 7 home runs in 7 games.
That's what it was.
And we didn't bring it up until the 7th home run of the 7th game because we didn't know about it. But
right.
I think
But you're not going to bring up Ohtani until the 6th home run in the 6th game or whatever.
No, Ohtani you're bringing up,
if he hits 5 home runs in a row, you're not going to you might mention it, but that's it.
No. Ohtani's been brought up a lot the last couple years.
Yeah, by the way, I withdraw everything I said about Mike Trout. 283, 40 homers, 80 RBIs.
Yeah,
That's
he's still
dumb.
one of the best
He
players.
only played 119 games. That was the issue.
It's not that Mike Trout's not producing. He's not
exciting.
You've been here longer than anybody.
Yeah.
How much have you talked about Mike Trout in the last 5 years? Has it been a lot?
MVP voting time? Yes, but no. He's not a player that moves the needle in the way that Ohtani does. Ohtani, to a great degree, put the Angels on the map in Los Angeles. The Angels. You disagree with that?
I don't think that he did. I don't think they
Oh,
put the
we
Angels on
talked
the map.
about Ohtani all the
Berg,
time.
we
this
talked
year.
about him a lot too.
You
and
also-
it was the worst, arguably the worst franchise in
And
baseball.
the Angels have been a joke for years.
And they're still a joke, so that's why I don't think they're on the map yet. We talk about Ohtani, we don't talk about the Angels. So saying that Ohtani
Yeah, he
put
could have
the
been a
Angels-
Blue Jay.
Right, it didn't matter. Wherever Ohtani was, we were going to talk about him. But the fact that he's an Angel didn't make all of a sudden the Angels a bigger topic for us.
Sure it did.
Not really.
I never talked about the Angels.
Right, but
I
you're talking about
literally
you're still
never.
not talking about the Angels. You're talking about Ohtani or Trout. You're talking about specific players.
But they are Angels.
Right, but
how is that not talking about the Angels if I'm talking about players on the Angels? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, because it's like Taylor said. If he was a Blue Jay, you would still be talking about Ohtani because of the type of player that he is and what he can do.
But
and
at
everything
the
about
start of the conversation, the point was the Angels are only relevant here because of Ohtani.
Yes, correct.
And that the Angels taking the only thing that's made them relevant over these last couple years and making a deal with the Dodgers.
Moving
the
off the
Dodgers,
freeway.
the best run organization that gets so much, you look at the marquee franchises in all the sports, Dodgers are one of them, and you take that, it's taking LeBron James to the Lakers. Like you cannot, that would be my comp actually. It's like you're taking the best player in the league and putting him on the most popular franchise in the league.
Yes.
You can question the Yankees or whatever you want. And the Angels would be responsible for that.
Correct.
I find that very
it.
difficult to believe that they would do that.
I get it, but it's kind of like with AD when he left New Orleans. He didn't say it out loud, but he was only going to go to the Lakers. If Ohtani,
Oh,
hasn't
well, no,
said
I
anything,
think Rich Paul said it out loud.
No,
I mean, they
he might have.
engineered that
But
entire
but
deal.
that's different.
But if Ohtani,
that's a different
does,
conversation.
Like, I'm going to wait until the end of the year.
Yes.
If I'm going to wait to the end of the year, he's going to sign with whoever he wants. He's probably the Dodgers anyway. So
But
would
that's
you
a
then
different
trade him?
conversation. If Ohtani was actively saying, guys, you could trade me wherever, trade me to the Red Sox. I'm only going to be there for half a season.
Right.
And then I'm going to the Dodgers. Trade me to the Yankees. Trade me to the Cubbies. When I'm a free agent, I'm signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
Well, the other thing is, first of all, I would say there's no guarantee that the Dodgers are going to be able to sign
Hypothetical.
Shohei Ohtani, right? I mean, they're not the only ones who are targeting Ohtani next winter. But I do think that when we get to midseason and the trade deadline during the course of this coming season, the Dodgers will have their powder dry, and they will be able to trade for, without any consideration whatsoever, anybody that's on the market, including, potentially, if the Angels want to get off Ohtani.
Kind of sets for exciting. And again, it's with the Angels, it's not about how they play. It's what do they do with Ohtani. Again, Ohtani just kind of dominates the conversation of that franchise. Okay, we got the dump coming up next.
The dump. I've never gotten to do the dump before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, did you get a couple factor caps or a hey, did you see?
I got a factor cap if you want.
Okay, wait for that. We'll do that as well. I will do that coming up next. Stay right here. Travis and Sliwa, Mace filling in for T-Raj.
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Our Long Drive-a-thon event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and support the Folds of Honor, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Mace, you wanted it?
Oh, I wanted to
You're
be
getting
on
a little Factor Cap, and
Yeah,
it's a
I listen
Taylor.
to it every day.
It's a Taylor
Yeah,
edition.
usually I do Hey Did You See, but that kind of limits the way I can ask a question. So I'm
Okay.
going to do a Factor Cap here.
Okay.
So last night I'm coming back home from a gig. I played at the Lighthouse last night, and I came home to a fist fight on my front lawn.
Oh, wow.
So I have two roommates. They're kind of chummy. You know, they hang out all the time, watch Rick and Morty together, drink wine, smoke weed, you know, whatever they want to do.
Yep.
And these guys,
I like those guys. By the way.
yeah, they're chill, but they like to argue about, you know, the plot of Rick and Morty, politics, whatever.
Rick and Morty, yeah.
And last night, one of them apparently, so I came home to all this, found out the details later, but one of them spilled wine on the other guy's $200 shirt.
Ooh.
And the other guy refused to pay for a new shirt because, I don't know, he was saying, like, the red wine, the stain's not going to come out, the shirt's ruined, you owe me $200. He said, well, I'm not going to pay you $200. So the other guy said, well, you're going to pay one way or another. And they took it out to the front lawn.
Sure. No, this sounds reasonable.
And the guy that spilled the wine got knocked on his butt, and justice was served. So I came home to that. So my Factor Cap is, you've been involved in a fist fight. Mace, Factor Cap.
It's fact. It was
a week ago.
Yeah, it was last week.
It was a DoorDash.
No, it was
over Rick and
when
Morty.
I was probably 20 years old.
Okay.
I remember throwing down against this guy who was going after my friend Paul Craycraft.
Okay.
So we all jumped into the fight, and I got knocked on my ass so damn fat. I don't even know if I ever threw a punch. I also, one time...
But it's a story you can always tell, and I think you add a couple elements. You go see what that guy looked like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. See the other guy. No, the other guy I got into a fist fight with was my brother Brian. So my brother Brian, my mom and dad were on vacation, and I was supposed to be watching the house. My brother's 1 year younger than me. I come home, and he's down. He's 16 years old. He's got beer. He's got joints. I mean, it's like out of control. And so I ended up confronting him. He threw a punch at me. I threw a punch back.
Damn right you did.
And I broke a bone in my wrist on this thing.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that
part doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't surprise me. So those are the two instances where I had fist fights. What about you, Slee? You seem like a guy who's always ready to throw down.
Brawler.
When I was taking my Harley around,
yes,
right, and
sure.
I was just going from bar to bar.
Yep.
And this was in Santa Monica. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have not gotten in a fist fight before.
Never?
I've never gotten in a fist fight before. I got one time my cousin, but you can't even really call it a fight because we both didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Sure.
We're both like 12 years old. We're going at each other. Yeah, but did any of us actually throw a punch? None of us threw a punch. At least
it was like a baseball fight.
It was an NBA fight in today's NBA. Where somebody gets pushed and then they're suspended for 3 games, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent. I have not gotten a fist fight. However, can I ask you this question? Mm-hmm. The way you set up your buddies and they're just sitting
These
back,
are my roommates,
or these
not
are
my
your
buddies.
roommates.
Roommates, okay, got it.
Difference here.
I got thrown off that the dude owned a $200 shirt. Like the way we were just kind of setting everything up. Why is he so stylish while they're just sitting there?
It's a very good point. I don't think I own a $200
I
shirt.
definitely don't
He
own
works
a
for
$200.
NASA. I mean,
He works for NASA?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just not messing around. Well, don't risk your job over a wine stain.
Yeah.
But he also he has got that side to him too, you know.
So will there not be any financial compensation between the two?
I
In
think
other
they
words, is this
it.
settled?
I mean, they're probably
done
going to be
deal?
back at it tonight, doing the same thing, drinking,
watching Rick and Morty, getting stoned.
The fight ended it all. The fight is enough.
Berg, you got in some fist fights over there?
I've gotten into,
we were close when we went to that Raiders-Charger game.
Someone was going to try and
we
throw
were
down with
very
us.
close.
That's right. There was the guy and like, don't touch me, bro.
Oh, yeah, there was that guy.
There was
a
Charger fan.
The don't touch me, bro guy?
Don't touch me, bro
neither
guy.
Greg and I were going to do anything.
Well, when we were at the SC-UCLA game at the Rose Bowl this year, there was a fight that started down the way from us. Really, actually pretty close. Maybe 10, 12 people down the road, down the metal bench.
It was Cody Lou, wasn't it?
No, Cody was sitting right behind us, weirdly, from our social media team.
Literally right behind us. That's so funny.
All of a sudden he taps me on his shoulder. It's like, hey, Mace. I'm like, damn, how did you wind up? It's a 100,000-seat stadium. How did you wind up sitting directly behind us? But no, I avoid confrontation
I'm with
at
you.
all costs.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I see a fight, I'm like, let me out of here.
No, I want nothing to do with that.
So I've had one actual fight. I mean, there wasn't really punches that were landed, but there were punches thrown. I was at Pineapple Hill. It's off of Van Nuys and like Ventura, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the area, and it has there's a In-N-Out that's right there on the corner.
Okay.
But there's this cool little bar. It's a dive bar, and this guy was at the bar with a buddy of mine's wife, and he was kind of hitting on her.
Okay.
And he was wearing glasses and stuff, and we started calling him Microsoft and like, hey, get away from her, Microsoft. It was a whole big. I don't know why we call him Microsoft. It was just funny. And we decided that the three of us and the three of them were going to go outside and fight. And so in the parking lot of Pineapple Hill.
Before you get to that, is that like a the fact that it's almost like they came to an agreement? Like, hey, what do you guys think? Should we go outside? Should we all go fight? Like that. The fact that there's 6 people involved, is there a negotiation here? Is there, hey, like, he goes up against him, but then put me up against him?
We all just kind of went outside, and we all just kind of went into the parking lot and started, like squaring up. And one guy... The other
squaring up.
Yeah, well, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
So the two of my friends, put up your
good.
dukes, exactly.
This is good.
2 of my friends, they actually got into were like throwing punches and hitting each other, and me and the other guy that was left, he threw a punch at me. I ducked away from it, and he kind of like clipped the top of my head, and then I landed one that was just under his jaw.
You
and
hit
that
him.
Was it.
You hit him in the jaw.
And that was but that was it.
Did you drop him like a bag of rocks?
He did not drop. But I did get a shot in on him.
Nice.
That was about it, though.
How did the fight break up?
People came in and was like, stop it, and, stopped everything.
They broke it up, and you went back to watching Rick and Morty and smoking weed.
Well, the smoking weed part, not the Rick and Morty, didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
But we were all pretty hammered at that.
All right, we did factor cap. Now let's do the dump.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, so we were a little late behind the clock here. So this is also Supercross talk.
Oh, it's Supercross
let's just merge,
talk and
let's
the
merge
dump, and
them
Momo
all
jumps
together.
in.
Momo in the house as well. What's going on, Momo?
And we got Holla.
Oh, yeah, you brought Holla today.
You know what?
There's
I don't
a lot
know
of
if you
food
get
today.
any, because I've been texting you guys, and the only one excited about it is Greg.
It's Holla. It's
I'm
delicious.
not getting any heart emojis or yay.
Do you need that sort of affirmation
Yeah, I do.
in your life? Okay,
I baked
I'll send
for
you.
you.
I'll send you a big red heart.
You can't though, because he has a green bubble.
I made 2 Hollas.
And you brought them both in?
They're in here.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I
I'm
can't
excited.
believe it. The one day, there's all this free food. Trav's not here.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Holla.
I don't even know if this is going to be good because it's the first time I've made both of these particular
Can we try
recipes.
it now?
So let's just see.
Okay.
Can we try it now?
I mean, you want to? It's like, should we warm it up? Like Greg,
I don't know.
Well, you know how
just
to
eat the
set up
Holla.
your
You don't
Holla.
need it.
Let's do the dump, and then we'll have Holla
All right,
during
yeah.
Mason and
Supercross
Ireland.
That sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, now we got this.
Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begin.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
all right, how long does it take to
make a good Holla?
It was a couple hours. I was working last night.
Nice. No, let me see.
I've been sending pictures. Is that because you didn't
That's
have your?
a lot
what's
of
wrong
work
with your
right
phone?
there.
You're getting
That
green
was
bubbles.
It's
from
acting
you.
weird. I don't know what's going on.
I was like, Greg's the only one excited. Jorge is not writing me back. Mace isn't writing me back.
Well, he went.
I'm Jewish.
I'm like
so
live
I love it.
tweeting. I'm like live tweeting my baking.
He went
Wow.
Google Pixel.
Yeah.
He ended
Did
up
you
with a
really?
Pixel.
No, I did not. My phone is just acting
just weird.
so
Okay.
now I'm a green bubble.
I was like, am I the only one excited about the Holla?
No,
That looks amazing.
You've got to hold me back from that Holla.
I put chocolate chips in this one.
That's beautiful. Yeah, no, I'm
I
excited.
braided bread dough.
I know.
Are you becoming like what did you bring in a couple days ago? Early in the week, didn't you bring in meatloaf?
I brought in meatloaf.
Oh yeah, meatloaf.
Are you? Could be arguably the best scene in any movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you experimenting a lot at home?
No, what happened was we went to the Holla Bake at Daniel's preschool.
Okay.
And they taught us how to make challah. And it was a thing on the show, and somehow we got to talking, and it was like, I'm bringing, will you make us a challah? Is that how that's how? And Jorge was supposed to make ceviche. I don't know if he did.
Yeah,
He
ceviche.
did. He made it.
He
Did he
did?
make
He did.
ceviche? So
Yeah.
we got
Nice.
ceviche and Holla today.
It's a super
A
weird
mixing
fusion.
Of,
And
mixing
go
of
look
cultures.
in the kitchen. There's Jersey Mike's everywhere too.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's
Really?
a lot of
Wow, what
yeah,
a
there's
day.
Got a lot of
here
food.
today.
What a day. Cool. So what's on the dump?
All right, so
And Trav's not here.
no, and T-Raj is the one day that he's not here.
Nice.
All right,
Jorge.
Jorge.
Ceviche, I love it.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh,
that's beautiful.
beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
Cool. So we will be well fed today.
That is the good stuff right there. Okay, so on Saturday, Colorado hired Deion Sanders.
yeah.
This is not a surprise here, but I'm going to throw this out there. This is the power of Deion Sanders, all right?
Okay.
Their best merch sales day ever, added 175,000 social followers, surpassed 2,000 season ticket interest forms. I know, listen, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Were you guys surprised he ended up with Colorado? Like, didn't you think he could?
He should have been at Auburn.
He could have ended up at a much bigger
it's literally
school.
Within an hour of Jackson State where he's been and done a really good job.
But in a weird way,
Why
I think
Colorado,
it's-
you think
I think
that?
it's good because it's kind of a clean slate. Like Colorado, he's going to build this program brick by brick from the ground up.
And they are at the bottom.
Right. And by the way, the expectations are not going to be as high as they are. Auburn is a place to
that's
go
true.
to get fired. He'll have a long run at Colorado, right? So I actually
That's a good point.
like it. I like it.
In a weird way, too, we will all have semi-interest in what Colorado is doing.
Hey, I assume we're gonna play him again next year.
So I heard you guys talking about the Dodgers and everybody's kind of trying to digest what they're doing right now.
Yes,
What they're not doing is trying to win the press conference.
correct.
Okay? That's what Colorado did with Deion Sanders is they won the press conference. They won like the next 5 press conferences.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling the merch. Everybody's excited. I don't know if
They're
it's gonna
hiring
work.
former
Yeah.
Big 5 college football coaches to be their offensive defensive
Yep.
coordinators. I
Yep.
mean, they're going big. I think Colorado will improve immediately because I think there are over 1,000 kids in the transfer portal right now, probably more than that by now. And I would imagine some of them are going to say,
And we're-
"Hey, I'm going to go play for
And we're
Deion."
kind of in this world where celebrity matters.
Yeah.
Celebrity sells.
Yeah,
like
it does.
If you're looking for NIL deals, if you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for to set yourself up with whether you're going to play in the NFL or not, like you can make some money now. I think going to play for Coach Prime is probably a good sell.
And the
Coach
social media
Yeah.
part of it is, I mean, look what Lane Kiffin has done
Yeah.
at Ole Miss. He's popular on social media.
Yeah.
And that counts for something.
Counts for something.
Yeah.
And I think I think about this in my own career and life. Like I'm just not into the social media right now. I tweet or Instagram some cute baby pictures.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally somebody takes a video of me when I'm on set doing a show. Here they'll put us in their stories and I'll add it to my story.
Right.
But I'm mostly just kind of retweeting or re-adding things. It's I think it's because I don't really want all that right now.
Right.
But
Like
I
when
will
I don't
say-
necessarily want all of that spotlight that social media brings because it also brings icky stuff too. It's
Right.
It's not always just highlighting good work.
But in this case, Deion loves the spotlight.
He loves the spotlight,
And the spotlight is beneficial to the program.
And I think a lot of kids like that too.
Yeah.
I think that seems to be what people are chasing now. I don't know that it has a lasting power. I don't know that it's good for your long-term career or long-term mental health, but it's what's here, what's now.
Yeah.
Are you on social a lot? If you
Not-
if you weren't doing this job, how much would you be using social?
Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot. Although, I use social to promote my podcast.
Yep.
So for that reason, I like having a footprint for social
Yeah.
media.
But are you on
like,
all the time scrolling?
No.
Listen, it's very consuming. It's
My-
very easily
You're
can
pretty good at
consume
that.
you.
We looked at it. My last tweet was like Saturday.
Yeah.
After the USC game, and I haven't tweeted all week.
I scroll a lot. I scroll
a lot too.
'cause
I
I'm
don't
trying to
spend a
find
lot
stuff.
commenting, but I do scroll.
I don't comment that much. I try not to like things too much because people look at your history of likes as well. That's a new thing, you know.
Yeah. He liked that. She liked that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That-
You can see what you're looking at. It's like giving information out that you don't necessarily want to give out. But I don't do nearly as much. I scroll a lot. That's how I stay up on things. I
Right.
see a lot. I have a lot of push notifications.
Right. The other thing is, I do follow the Mason and Ireland Mafia. Like
Yeah, I do
our,
follow
our
them, too.
hardcore
Yeah.
listeners. I like tweeting with them.
Yeah.
That's different though than I think putting something
I
out
like
there to the broader
I like
internet.
following the Mason Island Mafia. Like I
yeah.
because it's a good real. Like yesterday, somebody cracked me up. They were like, if I have to hear that Chelsea Clinton story one more time,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Well, somebody might not have heard it. Do you want to?
No, I don't want to tell
We
it.
do not want to hear it.
We have
do
a
not want to hear it
moratorium on
again.
that story.
Yeah,
for
Chelsea
a little
Clinton.
while.
Your setup
verboten on the
yesterday,
show.
where you're
Let's
like,
hear
give
about
us
Oprah.
the
Like 2
abbreviated
days in a row.
version.
Oprah and Chelsea Clinton done for the week.
Done for the week.
Done for the week. Yes.
All right, did you guys see this? I don't know kind of what to make of it. You know how it seems like everybody now has a sports rights deal, okay? The NFL is the best at it. The NFL is, we'll give you a little crumbs here, NBC's got something, ESPN's got something.
Right,
something.
they spread it out.
So Netflix is one of the only ones without live sports, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they put out this. They said, unlike some of its competitors, Netflix has been profitable every quarter this year. And their quote to it is, we're not anti-sports, we're just pro-profit. Do you see that at all from Netflix?
Well,
That's a quote.
In a lot of ways, I think what happens with sports media or broadcast rights is that you do get a lot of eyeballs. But I don't know that it's always profitable when you see the gigantic numbers that get thrown around for media rights. And, everybody talks about we're going to be disciplined when we go after the NBA or the NFL or, wink, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
The
think,
Yankees were going to be disciplined on Aaron Judge,
exactly.
too.
Exactly. So,
$145 million later.
The thing about sports is I think you've got to find a way into the games. And by the way, I think Netflix does really well. Their stock hasn't done really well lately, but they do really well as a company. I watch Netflix.
I know it's a hell of a statement because they kind of ruined the whole industry. Like,
what do you mean?
Netflix basically spent like a drunken sailor for a while and didn't have much strategy to it. They just threw money at everything.
They
and
raised the bar for...
No, and there's so much stuff that was like not even being watched, but they were spending so much money. And then eventually they realized, that's not profitable. We're spending way too much money on things people aren't watching. And they had to start cutting things. They started cutting budgets.
Yep.
And then that permeated the whole industry. Everybody started cutting. Because what happens is when one company, it's like an arms race, like in baseball.
Yeah.
All right, the Dodgers are spending crazy. The Yankees will spend a lot. Well, now the Padres are getting involved, and now the Mets are spending, and whoever else.
So it's
okay?
contagious.
It's there. Look at you simplifying things.
Yeah, contagious.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
And it gets going, and then all of a sudden everybody wakes up and goes, "Wait, what were we doing again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we spending so much money?" And then everybody starts cutting.
So
cut.
To your point, Momo, and this is a fact that Netflix they made 52 movies this year.
Too many.
They released one
a
per
week.
week.
Yeah.
I have not seen a single
Seriously.
one and haven't heard promotion for a single one.
Yeah, you can't. It's just you're flooding the market.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's too much.
Netflix for me, and I use it, nothing crazy or anything like that. It is overwhelming when you go on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you rely a little bit on their top 10, but after
I do
too.
rely on their top 10
I
a
do.
lot now.
and that's kind of what you look at. But after that, I'm like, I don't know where to go. I
Yeah,
don't know what I want to
I'm
watch.
constantly like looking for what's the best thing on streaming articles
Yes.
to find shows that I may not have looked for or tried to find.
Yeah, my constant question is what service is it on? What
Yeah.
channel is it on? You name a show,
Yeah.
I'm like, what's on Hulu?
That's
What's
why
on
you need the
Netflix? What's
Apple
on-
thing because you just say the name of the show and it finds what app it's in
Oh,
and
damn.
it'll take you there.
I don't even know how to work that.
Do you guys you pay for cable? You guys have cable,
Yeah,
through
I have
Spectrum
all of
or
it. I
whatever
just
it
pay
is?
for all the things.
Yeah,
So
it's
now,
terrible.
isn't that kind of funny where before
Yes.
it's like the idea was, okay, hey, you got some of these streaming services. Maybe you give up other stuff. I think I'm paying more than I
Yes,
ever have
you're
in my
paying
life
more.
for
This is
everything.
the most I've ever paid for television.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because basically what we did is the concept was we were going to unbundle ourselves. We were going to unbundle. Cable is a bundle of networks.
Right.
Yep.
And you had to
And we're
pay
gonna
for everything.
Yep.
And you're like, well, I don't watch that thing, so
Yep.
why am I paying for all this?
Mm-hmm.
So we unbundled ourselves. But you could never quite give up the regular cable because you can't get everything you want
But
without it.
But
You
that
can't
ties,
get the live sports.
That ties back to sports. If it wasn't, I'll use Spectrum as an example. I wouldn't have Spectrum if
Yes.
it wasn't for
Me too.
Lakers,
Correct.
and
Or
Dodgers.
Me too. Same.
If that's the only thing that keeps Spectrum there, because other than that, to be honest with you, I don't need any of the other stuff. I can go do the streaming services.
I would probably
and that'd be just fine.
I still want CNN. I still want some of the news channels.
But can't you get that?
ESPN, I want to get that linear.
But CNN,
can't you get these on? You can get
CNN. You can get
Yeah.
through
CNN.com.
Discovery now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's too complicated because I got to get out of the app and go into the main. So I
Yeah, I
need
would
somebody
love-
to bundle me back up.
I would love to be able to get rid of cable. I would love to be
Yeah.
able to get rid of cable, but I need it for live sports because NBC's got Sunday Night Football, and
Like when you're
everybody's
watching
got
Amazon
something.
Prime,
Yeah.
you have to get out of the app to like change the station.
Yeah, it's gotten more. The idea that it was going to be easier
No.
is ridiculous.
No.
It's gotten much, much harder.
More
So-
complicated and more expensive.
Yes.
So to me, when things don't work the way they should, that's when some smart Silicon Valley person
Comes up with an idea.
put it all in one thing and make it work.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah, I think Apple did.
Okay.
I kind of think the Apple TV is the way it's going to end up.
Yeah.
You run the Angels. You just took over the Angels.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Okay? Congratulations.
Hey,
Yes.
I just
Okay.
fell backwards into
Yeah.
$2 billion. Okay.
Otani has said, "I am not going to re-sign with the Angels."
Did I just buy the Angels or
You
do
bought
I run
the
the
Angels. You bought them.
Am I the owner or am I the GM?
You are the owner.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
You are the owner. You approve everything that
Okay,
happens.
so
Okay.
clearly I had some money to buy the team.
Yes, you had money that you
Yeah.
didn't know about.
Yeah.
You own the Angels, and Otani says, "I am not going to re-sign with the Angels,"
Mhm.
and we're approaching the trade deadline. Okay.
Mhm.
And there are 3 teams out there that are all interested in Otani.
Yeah,
and
even for 1 year.
And I'm just no. It's going to be he's going to end up somewhere, and it's going to be a long-term deal.
Okay, got it.
And it's the
He gives you a
Yankees.
list.
It's the Yankees. It's the Red Sox and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers are giving you the best offer for Otani.
Uh-huh.
The Yankees and the Red Sox are not too far behind, but it's not as good of an offer as the Dodgers. Are you taking the best offer, or are you making sure that
I'm
you're
taking
not
the
trading
best
him
offer.
to the Dodgers?
I'm taking the best offer. I don't care if it's the Dodgers or the Angels. I think they have different fans. I don't think it's like Lakers and Clippers. And by the way, Corporate Greg, I'm disappointed in you, sir.
Oh no.
You said
no,
the
Greg.
Angels would never do a trade with the Dodgers.
No, I said
No,
that
no,
they
I
would.
said I don't think they ever
said
will.
they wouldn't.
We're saying we don't think
They
Otani.
did. A couple years ago, they did a trade with the Dodgers. Don't you
I
remember
said
that one?
Artie Moreno wouldn't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
but
vetoed.
Artie was the. It got
got
vetoed,
vetoed.
but that wasn't them.
It was Jock Peterson and Ross Stripling to the
Right.
Angels, and Artie Moreno said, no.
It wasn't Artie that did it, was it?
Sure, he vetoed it. He vetoed it. He turned it
That's
around.
why the trade turned around.
Yeah.
Yes, because of Artie.
Artie's the reason
Wasn't
why the trade was
physicals-
reversed.
It wasn't the physicals.
No, because
it
those
was-
guys went right on playing for the Dodgers.
Yep. Jock
Why
and
would
Ross
they ever
Stripling.
get that far along and announce a trade and then not do it?
Well, what have you ever seen an owner like Artie Moreno who's as impulsive as he is? I mean, all of a sudden,
That's really I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
That's why that
Yep.
fell apart.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, take it back.
So you would. So you
I
would
was
make
like,
the
they
deal.
would never
Holla,
do
it's
it.
okay.
He did do it, you know.
You would make
Yeah,
a
thank
deal,
you.
and you wouldn't be concerned about it. You're not.
No, you know why?
I don't think they would,
think
Mace.
Dodger fans hate Angel fans, and I don't think Angel fans hate Dodger fans.
No, not at all.
Like Laker fans
the
don't
Angels-
like Clippers.
The
fans,
Angels
and
are
Clipper fans don't like Laker
They're
fans.
unoffensive.
Yeah, they're just.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the superstar of all superstars.
First of all, I
leaves
would
your
try
team.
to keep him myself. If I was a new owner
Mhm.
and I dropped whatever it's going to be, let's say $2 billion. It sounds about right.
Who? The Angels?
It sounds about right.
I don't know what it is.
I
What
think
What
is
are
it?
baseball franchises selling for now?
Oh,
What's the latest
sick
one
prices.
that
I'm
sold?
trying to think of the last one. Did the Nationals haven't sold yet? Have they?
Oh,
think
the
so.
Mets. Was it Mets just recently?
Yeah, what'd they sell for?
Cohen.
He
probably overpaid.
Purchase.
Yeah, he probably did.
I'm sure he overpaid. He's loaded. $2.4 billion. So
Yeah.
you're probably in the right ballpark.
You know,
yeah,
and do they? I don't know if they have that stadium. I think the city owns it. Something. It could affect.
they're going to
that.
need a new stadium.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal. If you
Let's-
buy the team, you're going to have to
Let's
build a new
just say
stadium.
it's somewhere between 1.5 and $2 billion, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you got that kind of money, I would do whatever it takes to keep
Keep him.
Shohei Ohtani.
Absolutely.
I would say to him, give us a year. What if you won't take a $500 million deal? Then you say, okay, I'll give you 1 year, $80 million. I don't care.
By the way,
One year, give me 1 year to try to turn this
I
around.
agree with Ramona on this, and everybody else disagrees. I think there's a chance that a new owner comes in.
Yep.
Let's just say hypothetical
Joe
multi-billionaire
Lacob,
Joe
Sure.
Lacob.
Someone with a track record.
And
in
I'm not
sports.
saying that with any source information.
Correct.
Okay?
No,
Just a
the
name.
very first thing I do is I say, Shohei, this is your franchise. We're going to build the whole thing around you. We're building a brand new stadium. Here's $500 million plus.
Yes.
Stay with us. You're the centerpiece of what we're going to do. And I think that gets Shohei's attention.
I think you give him whatever he wants. You do the Godfather offer.
Yep.
As much as you possibly can, and you also and They can do. I mean, all these contracts. It's so weird. Now people are doing deals where they have full no trade clauses. Okay.
That's what he said. The Bogart deal's no trade clause, right?
Yeah.
No trade clause, no opt-outs.
That's
I
rough.
would give him an opt out whenever he wants one.
Well, I would not
You
give
know?
him a full no trade. Opt-outs,
Yeah.
you only opt out when you're really good. You don't opt out when you're having a terrible season. So
He-
opt-outs
he-
work in the advantage of the player as opposed to the owner.
But in this case, he may opt out because he's not sold on
Yeah.
where
Let's
the
say
direction
give
the
him an opt out
Angels
after
are going
3
in.
years. If it's not going well, you can opt out, and we'll do a new deal, and you can make another 500.
Sure.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
Give him whatever he needs.
All right, you guys got a lot of food to eat, so I'm going to get out of
Yeah,
here.
we got
Mason,
lunch.
coming up next. Momo in for John.